I see radio stations making a lot of bad mistakes when it comes to their radio station website. And it's no fault of their own, it's just because they don't know. Today we'll cover 10 essential rules to help your radio station's website be successful.
You're listening to Better Radio Websites, the definitive podcast for radio professionals who want their websites to generate more traffic and substantial revenue. Get time-tested techniques, secret tricks, and valuable tools in online content, marketing, analytics, security, social media, and much more. Ready for your radio station to dominate digital in your market? Here we go.
Hi, it's Jim, and welcome to Better Radio Websites, the podcast that wants to help you get more visitors and the most revenue from your radio station website. Thank you so much for tuning in this week. Be sure that you like and subscribe for this, and leave us some notes on each one of these podcasts to let us know how we're doing. The analytics that we get with these only show so many things, and so we want to know what content resonates more with you, what kind of content that you'd like to see in the future, because we want to ensure that you're tuning in each and every week. We so much appreciate that. Well, this week we are talking about 10 essential rules when it comes to your radio station website. And I see a lot of radio station websites out there, and I'm sure you have too. If you've looked around the internet, you've probably seen your competitors' websites, maybe websites in other markets, and that sort of thing. And there are a lot of big mistakes happening out there. And really, it's no fault of the radio station. We're radio people. We're not website people. A couple months ago, I created a blog post about how radio station personnel should not mess with website design just because they don't know the essential principles of website design. There was a time when I was just a radio guy, wasn't doing the websites that often, and I didn't know any of these. And so I want to kind of impart this knowledge onto you to help you make the wisest decisions when it comes to your website. First, I want to say that your radio station website is just as important as your radio station. It's a direct extension of your brand. It's a connection to your online listeners. It's where you are pointing all of your social media posts and you're mentioning it on air about go check out this on the website and that sort of thing. And all of this is to drive traffic to the website so that more people can find the website in SEO, and so that the advertisers who pay to be on your website get more impressions on what they're trying to advertise. So this is why the website is so important. And I often ask a lot of salespeople out there, how are you selling your radio station website? And a lot of them, actually too many of them, say, no, we don't sell the website. Why? We're in the radio business, so why? No, it's not a big concern. And so that has to do with a little bit higher up than where the salespeople are. So we want to kind of bust that mindset. I've done the mindset podcast and blog post several times. I don't want to beat that horse. I just want to give you 10 essential rules that will help you make your website as successful as, or even more successful, that can happen, than your radio station, because we have seen that in a lot of markets to where the website, parts of the website have become so successful that if you do a comparison with the on-air numbers, more people are coming to the website than what they can substantiate, seeing in the numbers for their radio station. So that can happen, and people are making a lot of money because of this. All right. So these 10 essential rules that are going to help you have a successful radio station website. Use this as a guideline to kind of unlock the potential that is there. Number one is to think like a listener, not a radio person. We, as a radio person, we're in the studio and we have these little 5x8 cards that have different things we need to talk about during the show. And then we rotate through those throughout the day. Well, online, we don't want to rotate those in a slider because sliders have gone out of favor across the internet. And we don't want to put every single one of those on our website. We do want to have that information there because everything that we do on air should be online, but we don't want to do it in a way that we would if we were a radio station person. We want to adjust your mindset a little bit. Now, your website is not just for a listen live now button. It's really to engage with your audience with everything that you have on the radio station. So stop approaching the website as what you want to communicate to the listener. Start thinking about it as a platform that gives them something to engage with you on. Does that make sense? All right. So stop making it a list of promo cards and give them a destination where they can come and interact with the radio station in some sort of way. Give them that great information like local events, local news, contests, and that sort of thing, but cater to them. Look at your website with fresh eyes. Or as an exercise, you may want to go to an outside market, maybe overseas or something like that, and look for a radio station, and then look at that website in the eyes of a listener in that area would look at that website. Does that website cater to you as a listener? What information that would you like to see on that website? What information could you toss out? A big long list of DJs, probably not going to be compelling information, all right, that you would come back on a daily basis to consume. So start adjusting your mindset so that you're looking at your website and you're making decisions on what goes on your website and how they are placed and where they are placed as a listener would, not as us, as a radio station person who wants to cover everything in those 5x8 cards. All right. Number 2 is to treat your website as a radio station. The homepage could be the morning show, or it could be an overall list of everything that's on the radio station. Sections on the homepage could be individual shows like the contest or the local events or that sort of thing. And then if you think about the ad placement, the top leaderboard where ads are rotating in and out there, that's just like a stop set. And rotating in those are banner ads, just like commercials. And you can program a website just like you would a radio station with content that goes in and out and kind of flows. And then there's good navigation. I mean, that is what you need to do in order to have kind of remove the disconnect for those that say, no, I just don't get advertising on a website. I don't know why we want to go out and have people advertise on our website, and I don't see the value of putting information there on a daily basis or anything like that. If you treat it as a radio station, not a website that you don't get, then you're going to start seeing a whole lot better results from that website. Just the sentence, treat the website as another radio station, that's going to unlock, you're going to see that unlock happen in just your salespeople, because many of them just don't get digital yet, but they will if they can think about the website as just another radio station that's simulcasting in a digital format, text and images of what the radio station is doing. So this one is probably one of the most important things, because it's the one thing that we teach and we say when we go out to all these conferences, and we just see the look in people's eyes, just say, I get it now. Okay, now I can go back home and start, telling people what they need to be doing on their website. So treat the website as just another radio station. Number 3 is to keep your content fresh. If your radio station website is a brochure that does not change on a daily basis, you will not ever see a mass amount of people going to this website because they don't have any reason to. If it's the same today as it was yesterday and the day before and last year, there's no reason to go back. Yeah, if you have some sort of special thing that people want to click the listen live button for, maybe, but other than that, there's really no reason to go back. So what you want to do is to keep your website fresh, something that changes every single day. Now, I'm not talking about a slider that has 10 things that rotate in and out. That's not going to be new every single day. That's just the same thing rotating 10 times every time you go. I'm talking about every time I go there, there's something new, something that the radio station is doing that was different than yesterday, or news or events, that sort of thing, right? Now, this is not only going to keep your audience more engaged and coming back on a regular basis, but it's going to help your search engine optimization, because as we've said many, many times, Google and other search engines, they love fresh content and they boost your scores and help you rank higher in the search results whenever you have fresh content that's being updated daily. They will see if people come to your website and they immediately leave because they're not seeing anything new. Okay, that website has now become less relevant, and we're going to throw you a little bit further down on the list, and we're going to boost somebody else higher. That somebody else could be your competition, and you don't want that. Number 4 is to don't try to be everything to everybody. We see so many radio stations that whenever they create pages or they're just creating their website and they want to give us all kinds of RSS feeds that cover the entire gamut. They want to be the worldwide online station or something like that. They want to be everything to everybody. Please fight against this. This is more of our radio mentality coming back and trying to push that onto our website. Whenever you have a website that is just filled, covered, overwhelming with information about all kinds of things that don't affect directly your local listeners, you will alienate them. They will come to this website. They will get overwhelmed on so many options to choose from. They won't stay there and try to find something that resonates with them. They will simply leave. Pick a P1 listener and then just focus on what that one listener would be interested in. If they're not 100% interested in it, throw it out. Just don't even have it online. These stations, they want to bring in RSS feeds from everywhere and cover everything like health and politics and sports national and everything like that. And they're like a light AC station. All right. Some of those like politics news feed, they're not going to resonate with them. That's not going to be something that draws them back every single day. So be very, very careful on the content that you have on your radio station website and be sure that it resonates fully with your P1 online visitor. Number 5 is to think mobile first. And what I mean by that is that so many of your audience are going to be consuming your station website on their mobile phone. That means it's got to load fast and it's got to be situated in a way to where it looks good on mobile. If the navigation menu is hard to function and everything like that on a mobile device, or you don't even have a mobile optimized website, oh my gosh, heaven forbid. But if the website doesn't look great on a mobile device, because on a mobile device there are a lot of great looking mobile apps. People are used to the Facebook and the X and the Instagram, all of that on their website, and all of that functions great and it looks great. If your website does not look great and function great on a mobile device, then there's this doesn't appear right. I don't need to come back here on a regular basis. All right. So they're gonna check out. Or if your website loads very, very slowly, if it's pulling in a bunch of RSS feeds because you're trying to be everything to everybody, all of those RSS feeds take time to load in. And sometimes the website doesn't even load a page until those websites or those RSS feeds are actually loaded. So if your website takes a long time to load on a mobile device, then folks are checking out also because they're used to the quickness of their Facebook and their Instagram and other apps. All right. So always be sure that you're thinking mobile first. Another way that you can ensure that your website is loading fast is images. Large images are the biggest culprit for slow loading websites. So if you think you're going to upload a 2,000 by 3,000 image on your homepage and think that it's going to look small, sure, but it's going to be a big file size that has to load in the background. And with that large file size loading, then it's going to make your website a whole lot slower. So be sure that you optimize every image that you upload to your station website. That is thinking mobile first, because on mobile, every file size should be as small as you can get it. PNG image files are 3 to 4 times larger than JPEG files. And then there's a new image format called WebP that is 3 to 4 times smaller than JPEG files. So if you can find a JPEG or PNG converter to WebP out there, we can link one in the show notes, then use that to make images as small as they can be. And you will see the difference if your website has nothing but optimized images on it. If you take a page loading metrics out there that you can type in your website address, and it will tell you how fast your speed is loading, actually give you scores on there. If you try it with just your regular images like it is today, and then you go through and you make all of your images WebP images, you're going to see a drastic improvement of those scores. All right, number 6 is to make navigation easy. Don't make them think. Recently, I went to a station website. I just wanted to know where they were located, the town inside the state that they were located. Couldn't find it. So even on their contact us page, it didn't have their address there. So you have to make you make your navigation easy. Don't make it cluttered, trying to be everything to everybody. Just focus on what your audience wants, and then make your navigation easy and easy to find things. Make your content easy to find as well. If somebody comes to your website, is there a search button? Can I search for the location? Will the location actually be found in those search results? So you want to make the navigation and all of your content very, very easy. If folks have to spend time on your website just looking for what they're looking for, then they're going to check out and they're probably not going to come back. It just gives them a bad psychological taste on your website, and they're like, it's not worth my time anymore. All right, number 7 is to use visuals that represent your brand. If you have a news website, be sure that you use images that are not just cookie cutter clip art. Make sure that they are professional images that represent your brand. Now, don't think that I mean, using professional images and stuff like that. Don't think that that means, well, I'll just put my logo on everything and use my logo 100 times on the homepage, because logo overuse can actually drive people away. All right. So if you went to the Coca-Cola website and you just saw Coca-Cola all over the website, it's kind of off-putting a little bit. So use your logo sparingly, and use, like I say, professional images. You can use AI images now that can say a whole lot more than some clip art that you grabbed that just says breaking news or something like that. So, and with the advent of AI images now, you can almost create an image for every situation. So if you needed an image of cop car lights or fire truck lights or something like that, or a house on fire, you can create that with AI very, very easily. So there's really no reason to have bad visuals and bad imagery on your station website. Number 8 is to optimize for search engines. This is very, very important. And what I mean by that is that the page tags are in a certain way. You don't put an H1 tag on inside of the middle of a post just to make text bigger, because there's a hierarchy when it comes to H1 tag, and then there's text under that, followed by an H2 tag, and then there's text under that, then there's an H3 tag, and then some text under that. And so there's a hierarchy of that. And so whenever you don't follow that hierarchy, let's say you put an H3 tag, then an H1 tag, then another H1 tag, then an H2 tag, then what's happening is that SEO is going crazy over this, and they're just kicking the page out, and it's not helping you at all. As a matter of fact, it is hurting your SEO scores. Another aspect of SEO is to ensure that all of your images are well optimized. Like I mentioned before, make sure that your page is loading fast. Make sure that people are staying on your page a whole lot longer. Recently, GA4 introduced a new time on site metric. It's just like our time spent listening metric. It's no different whatsoever. So you want to ensure that people are staying on your website a whole lot longer. Now, there's an argument to be made. Well, if I have RSS feeds and all of those RSS feeds open up in a new tab, my tab is still open. Doesn't that mean I'm keeping them on my website a whole lot longer? Well, everything that I have researched and found regarding this was posted before GA4 was introduced last year. That means that all of those arguments and everything like that before, the Google folks actually said it didn't affect your SEO whatsoever, good or bad. But you have to realize that they are going to penalize sites that are inactive. They're not going to increase that time on site metric if the tab is not an active tab. All right. So if they haven't yet, they're going to. I didn't find any research to substantiate that, but if they don't, it's coming. So do not count on like RSS feeds to increase your SEO scores if they open up in another tab. Number 9 is to encourage engagement, make it interactive. Your website shouldn't just be a brochure. So, while it has information that changes day in and day out, add comments, forms to take, requests and dedications, that sort of thing, song requests, contest entries, news submissions, everything like that. Make it interactive so that the audience can be a part of the content experience and the entire overall experience whatsoever. And then number 10 is to track and measure everything. Data is your friend. Be sure that you are looking at the analytics on your website, seeing what doesn't work and kicking it out. If you're trying to be everything to everybody, you're not going to see a lot of posts, a lot of metrics on the politics and the health news and that sort of thing. You're just not going to see it unless it's a big part of your listening area, which I doubt it is. See what doesn't work, kick it out. Don't leave it on there. See what does work. Try to do more of that content. Let's say people are only going to your station website for local news, and that's it. Then kick off everything else and just put local news on your homepage. Make it to where it's the first thing that they see, making it easy to find, and then do more of everything that they are engaged with. Now, you may want to, over time, add a little bit more things, maybe just to test. Let me put local sports down here at the bottom of this and see if your audience is engaging in that as well. If they are, then maybe move it up and give it equal amount of space above the fold with your local news. You may find that is going to be helpful. So, but you're not going to know that unless you are looking at the analytics and you track it on a regular basis. That is our 10 essential rules for any radio station website. Now, we could add a whole lot more rules. And as a matter of fact, I started this thing by saying that your radio station website is just as important as your radio station. That actually probably should have been included in this list. So 11 essential rules. And I say that because there's still a disconnect with so many radio stations out there who they just don't get it. They don't get they only see the radio station website as a place to put a listen live button. And it can be so much more, and you can benefit so much more from the revenue that comes with a successful website. So that is part of our mission, to kind of get that information out there and to kind of break that disconnect. I spoke to a radio station earlier this week who are just now creating their first website. They've been using Facebook up until now. They finally see that Facebook is never going to send them any money. So there's no reason to tell people to see them on Facebook when they're never going to gain any traction online for it, and they're not going to gain any revenue from it. So this is part of our mission, is to get that message out there. Hopefully this information helps you. If it has, please share it with your radio colleagues. We so much appreciate it. And subscribe, and leave us a comment wherever you get this podcast. We appreciate those as well. And if you need help with your radio station website, we're always here to help at skyrocketradio.com. Have an awesome week online making your radio station website better. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for listening to Better Radio Websites. Remember to subscribe, leave a rating or comment, and share this episode with your team and radio colleagues. For show notes, archived episodes, and more free resources, visit betterradiowebsites.com. Need help starting or making your radio website better? Visit skyrocketradio.com.